The Smurfs are based on something?
Well, religious people would say, oh, you can't watch the Smurfs because it's bad because they have witchcraft and stuff in there. But the whole thing is, it's based on this, the homunculus, the idea that you can create a human life form without a mother or a father. So,
really? That's what the Smurfs are based on?
What two Smurfs do you think got together
about Smurf lore.
and had Smurfette? She was the only female of the Smurfs. So,
it's a good question.
Well, it's not a question in the Smurfs. They tell you that Gargamel made Smurfette. But, in somebody's history, I don't want to say what race of people or group of people it is, but in somebody's history, there was this homunculus thing.
Like a genetically engineered human?
Life form.
Mm-hmm. Creature.
Right.
Whoa.
And so, it's spoken of in history very sparingly. But
I've never even seen that. I didn't know that it existed.
Yeah, I know. It was a pure white cam, like Jeffree Star's thigh. Go on. What did you find?
Nerd City says,
Nerd City
does an homage that becomes his own. It's the way it's always been.
Whoa, Nerd City. I'd actually like Nerd City to call in after this. To talk
the
about
NFTs.
Yeah. Would Nerd City Skype in, or does he want to stay away? It's
no
totally
pressure.
No pressure. Nerd City, would you Skype in after this segment? I'd love to meet you for the first time. In video. It will not ruin your career.
So scary.
Yeah. Imagine somebody. This is how I would, if somebody said,
my heart.
If I was watching Redbar and they said, hey, you want to call in? This is what it would sound like. I can't. My aunt.
I would be so fucking scared.
Don't call into Redbar. It'll be the last time anybody sees.
What if we only ask you
with
about
Nerd
the
City,
Logan
I'd love
Paul
to.
NFTs and we won't make you say anything
Here's the
else
thing.
about
I will not make you say anything. I just want to talk about NFTs, your Nerd City, YouTube's, and I love.
Sure, I'll talk about NFT.
Let's get him on the phone right now. Call in right now. Get his Skype name. We're going to take a break from this. A much needed break. You get it. Kumia, me. And we're going to talk to Nerd City before I'm too stupid. And get his Skype name, and I'll Skype him. He's not going to see video of me, which is unfortunate. I don't have it set up like that. Welcome, Mikey, D-D-B-B-B. BB. And don't try to prank me. We're never going to answer pranks on the show. We're not stupido. And this will be very easy. Would you love to see Nerd City? This is a big YouTuber. Big. And I respect him a lot.
Same.
He respects me a lot. He was just in a clubhouse with Tim Dillon and Keemstar just a couple nights ago.
Yep.
Tim Dillon is blowing up. Everywhere you go, they're hearing about Tim Dillon, and people are interested.
Star.
He's the first comedic star since Sebastian. People are talking about Tim Dillon. They're intrigued. They love that he's the bad boy of comedy. Don't worry. They love Tim Dillon. And we're going to talk to Nerd City. We're just waiting on getting his username here.
He says he doesn't have Skype, but he has my phone number. Do you want to use my...
No, I got to get him on the screen. He doesn't have Skype? Can he download it really quick and install it in his phone? It's the only way I could do it right now. Tell him, unfortunately, the only way Mike can do it right now is Skype. He doesn't have anything else set up. So, Nerd City's really great. He made some great videos about Jake Paul.
To Nerd City, this is like boomer shit. He has like a million different video.
I don't think so. I think
options at any time.
Yeah, I know that. But Nerd City knows what's up. He knows that the whole world around him, he wishes was as woke as this Redbar. And I'm excited to talk to him. I love this guy. We loved his videos since the start. You know, we had, this was 3-4 years ago, when we started noticing that YouTube had an expose genre. We got so excited because before that, there was nobody being Redbar-y. And I remember we got so excited when we saw people exposing other YouTubers. And Nerd City did a great expose on Jake Paul about his merch and stuff. And it was in the same vein of like what I like to expose, where it's like schemery, where you're stealing from people and it's petty. It's like petty to everyone else is like, yeah, it's just ads and merch. Who cares? But he knew.
And I got to say, a lot of like the YouTube commentary channels and like people who cover other people just like make a video about someone and then show the highlights of what happened, the stuff that everybody's already talking about. But Nerd City's videos, he does like his own research and comes up to his own conclusions. For
very similar to Redbar. And you watch a lot of people cover things, but they only cover the talking points that have already been said
like when
about
he
the
said
topic.
that Ethan was going to go after Logan Paul, and he just did the worst job.
He just did the suicide forest and the stuff that's out there. None of these people spend the time. None of these people know what's actually going on in the stuff that they want to talk about. You know, Redbar does the work. We sit there, we watch all of this all week. These other people, these T channels, they just wait for Twitter to blow up and then they cover what people are saying about it. They don't have their own opinion. Nerd City, though, had his own opinion. Now I think he works for Carl's Jr. You'll hear about that when he comes on. Wait till you see this guy, my only friend in the industry, Nerd City.
He's working on it.
He's working on it. How many followers does he have on YouTube so people know what he's about?
Whoa, a follower check?
Yeah, let's see, because this is a big guy. And friends with Keemstar. He's friends with, most importantly, Kane and Pia.
No way.
Yeah, pull up. You know that.
Oh, maybe I did.
Pull up Kane and Pia for me to show them their vlogs. Like a popular upload with her. He knows the biggest tittied lady that I've ever seen. Pia Muehlenbeck. They know him. They love him.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Like, that is
and
my
I would
dream.
kill to meet Kane and Pia.
I sent you a video.
Wait till you see Kane and Pia. It's this husband and wife knockers lady. Wait till you see how big her tits are. You're going to die. And they're from Australia. Wait till you see this. Kane and Pia.
Good morning, guys. That is one excited family.
Okay, so it's currently 6:30 in the morning, and we've just got on the ferry.
Okay, this is Kane and this is Pia. Look how huge her tits are. They're the biggest tits I've ever seen on YouTube. I mean, that doesn't even look crazy. This whole YouTube channel is about the size of her tits, but they play it off like it's just a normal, fun, loving. Hopefully we'll see some better. This was a terrible example.
Oh, I thought you wanted their most popular.
Well, they're tit video. Tits, Jules. Oh. You look at the thumbnail, you see the biggest tits that you've ever seen. Yeah, this video sucks. She's wearing a dress.
Okay, send you another one.
Okay, look at this. Oh, we'll prove it. I'm not even concerned. Look at this.
Okay, this is the coolest thing ever.
And they act like it's just this innocent travel channel, but she's got this is terrible too, Jules. Do you know anything about tits?
Not really.
This is, I mean, come on, there's like a million videos. She's wearing a complete shirt here. You have to see the side. It's the only YouTube couple where I go, guys, These tits are fucking huge. I cannot get over the enormity of these fucking tits.
But that's only because they never acknowledge her in a sexual manner.
They never acknowledge her sexually.
Like
this is like
Instagram
a
page,
fun-loving
she's just like a
channel.
Bikini model girl.
And
but her
the
channel
size of these,
never-
if I was like at a restaurant, she goes to restaurants with these giant, and if I was there, this would be me. Is there any, can we get you? It's almost like, why are you doing this to people in the public? Like, why are you putting, it's such big tits and perfect that you would go, you got to put those away. I mean, you're tormenting people. Watch this. You'll see. This is their song. Do you have another puffer? Wait till you see these fucking tits. We're getting Nerd City on the phone.
Good morning, Pia.
Good morning.
How's that for a view?
Oh my gosh, it is
Look.
so crazy. So we arrived super late last night, so it was like pitch black, and we had no.
So she just walks around like this at like a regular store, and everyone's like, ha ha, hello. But they're so nice and innocent. But then it's like, don't you know everybody is like fully in tit hell?
all of the tit guys are probably going crazy for
Like
this. They've been
I was if I was out at a restaurant and this woman just casually sat next to me with this, I wouldn't be able to concentrate on anything in my life. And every time I see your video, I've been watching these videos for 4 years. I go, the tits, I can't.
You're just trying to enjoy the travel.
And I'm not even really sexually attracted to her specifically, but when I see these tits, the world needs my domination. That's all I'll say.
Anyways, Nerd City is
No
ready.
idea
Oh, he's ready. Hold on.
that this is what the apartment backed onto. So we just woke up.
These are looking small in my camera. I'm trying to find a good, I don't want to get out of here with people going, those aren't tits. That's not a knife.
I think
This
it's
is
more about her personality.
No,
mixed
I'm
with
telling
the
you, these are
tits.
like double D's, and they're always in the face. Look it
But
up,
anybody
Kane and
can
Pia.
find a picture of big tits.
You know what's funny? You can't jack off to her. I've tried. You go, and it's not the type.
Because we want to become couples friends with them
Couples
through
friends.
Nerd
And
City.
we're going to call Nerd City right now. He's actually friends with them.
I'm jealous.
Do you have his Skype name now?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Okay, we're calling Nerd City. This is a big interview, a big guy. I can't believe he would do this show.
I know.
And it really is so nice. He doesn't care about being canceled. Say hi to Nerd City. I'm nervous to actually talk to him for the first time. Let's get him up. Oh, you can see a little bit of me here. Oh,
My God.
Is this him?
Hang on. I don't think I've given this app the right permissions. Can you hear
No,
me?
that's okay. I could hear you, but I can't see you yet. I'm at a digital set here.
Okay.
And we'll wait till we see him. I hope we didn't bust in on him in his underwear or something like that. I'd love to. So
I'm
we're
wearing
just-
shorts that I'm not going to let you see.
Oh, no, that's okay. I'm a shorts guy. I'm not anti-shorts like you would assume that I am. So we're waiting for Sam to pop up here. If you hear another phone call, that's probably Justin Wang. Is that his name?
Yes.
So we're seeing if he comes through here. We're just waiting. I am
He's doing
very
this all
nervous.
just for us. Remember, he had
Yeah,
to
he doesn't have
download
Skype.
We're
That's a
forcing
boomer
him to
app.
do this.
Nerd City is technically a Zoomer. And we are out of touch boomers to him. Skype is boomeristic. So for him to do this and download this, that shows a lot of respect. I'm frankly really nervous to talk to him.
Same.
So I don't know. Maybe I should try calling him back. I don't hear him any longer. Let's try calling him back. This is going to be a very interesting segment. Nerd, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
trying to make sure that you.
I can't see you. There we go. That's Nerd Citic. Yeah. Oh, look at you. Can I put you up on the screen now?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Nerd City, everybody. And wow, has the world seen you without the sunglasses before? This is like seeing Leafy for the first time. Look at you. So you've started on YouTube here. You've did these great exposes. You've moved. I don't know if you want me to tell people where you've moved. I think you're trying to keep that off.
No.
I will not. I will not. But you look, I've never seen you with the beard, without glasses before.
Yeah, you caught me in my pajamas.
This is Nerd City,
This is
everybody.
so nice.
This is Nerd City. He's been off YouTube for a year. A lot of people asking him, when's the next video coming out?
Yeah.
Must be very
It's not
frustrating.
I
anyone's
made the mistake
business.
of, I'll answer with what I think is a realistic estimate, and then that turns out to be too optimistic, and then people hold me to it. And, in some people's point of view, it's a lie. I've lied about when I'll upload, and I certainly don't mean to.
Yeah.
It's just everything. I've got some disease where I can't seem to estimate how long something's going to take. I think that's probably part of why my videos are the way they are, is I'll think of something like, all right, I'll do this. This will only take me half an hour. And then it takes 3 days.
So I got to say, please go watch his video. I'm telling you, they're very good. The Jake Paul stuff, you saw the stuff that everyone was kind of skipping over, and you could tell that you were very frustrated with these schemes that you saw these guys doing. More importantly than the obvious cancelable things that they've been doing, is the little schemes where they get in there and they try to extract money from people with the merch and the con artisty games, and you really put a spotlight on that. Doesn't Jake Paul and Logan, they hate you, right?
I've never had an interaction with one of them directly. Although what I'll say about the point you just made is these guys that are making daily content, the ones that are in the sort of Gary V stream of influence, where they're being told, like, just make content, never look back, don't worry about how good it is, you just make. They're overwhelming any community attempts to like police them because they're making too much.
Yes.
That's the problem we ran into on this current video, is like, well, I'll say about the old stuff. As far as like Jake Paul and Lele go, they were making content so frequently that just watching it every day is like a full-time job. So if you wanted to actually go back and research it all,
by the time you start with scheme one, they're so far beyond, and they've tricked so many people, and it's like Tana right now. Every day Tana's got something that you could spend 22 days discussing, but she does it so much, and Logan and Jake, they do it so much that you can't keep up with it, and it overwhelms the audience that's watching, and they almost don't even care anymore because it's so blatant.
What would happen in the past to those guys is they would do something that was like particularly shitty, or sometimes it would even just happen at random. It'd be like someone would check in on them and be like, oh, look, they did a kissing contest with their dad. That's pretty disgusting. Let me make a video about that. And then a number of other YouTubers that do exposed videos or critical videos would find it easier to just hone in on that. So they'd all make the same criticisms about the same piece of content.
Yeah.
So there's all this other stuff that's right out in the open, and it's got millions of views, but it's just people are overwhelmed with how much there is that they can't go through it all.
So you start making these videos about those little in-between things, the things that really grind my gears. But I want to ask you, you make it, and I watch you do it with that YouTube. I don't want to say, I'm going to say fear, where you pretend you're doing something where you pretend you're doing it for no other reason than it's justified, it's important. Do you ever just do it because you hate these people? and let's pick on them and fuck these guys. They're bad. Let's just go after them. You know, I watch everyone on YouTube. Everyone on YouTube has this thing where they want to.
Not saying that you're pretending.
Yeah, not that you're pretending, but I remember watching your old videos.
High ground.
And a lot of people, they go out of their way to make sure that everybody knows, hey, and trust me, I'm not, I got no animosity and they're great and everything. And you got the closest to actually just calling these people out. But what do you think? Is
there any other way to do that, though, in the current climate? Because, like, now there's a bullying and harassment policy.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I think that's why you probably like Redbar, right? You see it, finally, here's this guy just yelling at people based on an instinct instead of, like when I go after somebody, I don't wait till there's facts. I don't care about facts. I go, I fucking hate this guy. The facts will come. Whereas on YouTube, you have to be careful, especially when you get the numbers you get. You have to be careful because if it's not factual, you're going to be made the enemy, or you're going to be labeled jealous, or you're going to be labeled, oh, you're going after him for ulterior motives. Do you feel that pressure from the audience there that they're making you be so factual and serious?
Well, you and I both probably function off of our gut. I think everybody does.
Yeah.
You just decide, I like this person, I trust them, or I don't like them, and I feel like they're up to something. I think you're a little more freewheeling with when you'll say it because you're making content more frequently. And I just take my time.
Yeah,
and there's videos I'll start to do where it's like, I hate this guy and I think this is going to be the particular angle. But when I research it, it's like, oh, I just misunderstood. And it's really not what I thought. He's not that bad. This is just like, if you understand the context of how their channel evolved, like, of course he did the video this way. Yeah. And I'll kind of lay off. So like, I'll abandon things sometimes if somebody turns out to not be a piece of shit, like, I'll sometimes over the course of making a long video on somebody realize like they're a little more nuanced and complicated than I thought, and I'll see why they got to that point.
How did you get into Redbar? We thought, and I'm not kidding you, when we watched your videos,
we thought I was researching you for
no, I mean that, but when we saw your videos way before we knew you knew about us, I remember going, I wouldn't want a guy like this digging into me.
Said that exact thing.
I wouldn't. This is the only type of guy that could fuck me, is a guy like this. And then when you started contacting me, I thought for sure you were doing ops, an undercover investigation. And then I saw Justin Wang, your buddy, join the Bring Back group. I thought for sure you were trying to uncover some terrible thing about me. But people ask this.
I have uncovered the terrible things. I know where the bodies are buried.
Wow.
But overall, I don't think you're overall negative to the world. Like, I think that the people you pick to pick on are pieces of shit generally. Yeah. Like, you're not swinging at people where I'm like, no, that's it. This guy didn't do anything wrong, Yeah. But we've had a couple conversations where you've expressed concern about somebody, and I'm like, I hope they don't suck. I think that's a good person. And you're not covering them on the show. Like, you have a standard for who you'll make a video about.
Yeah, and I hope people think that, our enemies will, but, he makes fun of everybody. Oh, he goes, well, not everybody. I go after the guys that are,
doing the most damage to the culture.
It used to be, let's make fun of everybody that's a freak. Let's make fun of everybody that's goofy or weird. And then there were so many people that were also goofy and weird that were up to no good. And I always feel better covering the guys that are up to no good. And it actually gave me such a confidence when you and Justin Wang, who are pretty fair people, like, you guys aren't known for like trolling or being bastards to people. And when you guys said you liked Redbar, I go, oh yeah, I ain't doing, because I'm polluted with this idea that I'm the worst guy in the world and I'm picking on people and I'm a bully. And you almost gave me this second wind of confidence where I go, oh yeah, the guys I'm picking on, they are up to no good.
Yeah.
And
if I had to name if I had to describe a general theme to the criticisms you make, the only one that seems a little bit niche and specific to me is you'll find sort of like very low-level people who are pretending to be more famous than they are, who are misrepresenting themselves as celebrities, and that seems to really grind your gears. And that's amusing. I think that is. I
don't know if it was the Catcher in the Rye. I don't know what got me onto this. Phoniness makes me so upset when I see anybody being phony. I mean, I used to listen to punk rock. I go back and listen to the lyrics. I don't agree with any of the lyrics of the punk rock songs I liked, so it couldn't have been that. It's just something, and I even talked to you about NFTs the other day and how it's like this fundamental idea I have about phoniness that drives me insane. And I can smell it.
That's everywhere now.
Yeah. Really, like everybody who's big is the most phony person you could ever think of. And it's out there in the open, and they have no shame about being phony. They have no shame about scheming. Yeah. I'm really excited about your next video, even though I don't know the subject. Are you still in the works with this next video here?
Yeah, we're getting close to being done, and it's another topic that this person has. Well, I've made it public. It's about J Station.
J Station. Who's this guy?
Uploader.
Who is J Station?
He's the guy who makes the ghost videos.
I like that guy. This is the guy. Well,
not.
Well, I can't wait. Listen, this is a guy, and you got to see these videos. He channels the recently deceased, right? Like he does a lot of horse shit. But he does. That's the guy who channeled Mac Miller, or like tried to speak to Mac. I love that guy, man. You don't like that guy?
No, and I think you'll see why.
I think we've only seen those videos.
Well, this guy,
really
like,
what bothers you about everybody.
A week after Mac Miller died, this guy goes, "Well, hey YouTubers, hey guys, today I'm going to channel Mac," and he does it super serious. He goes, "I'm going to channel Mac Miller. Let's speak to him." And then he pretends to speak to him, and all these kids are like, "Holy shit!" That's not the problem you have with him, though, right? The channeling, the fake channeling.
Obviously, I don't get upset about purposefully offensive content, or I wouldn't like Redbar, right?
Wait, they're saying, "No, Mike, that guy is bad. Do not like him."
He's bad.
What is one of the main things
we don't know anything about him other than that video?
What is one of the main things that you want people to know about J Station?
Well, he doesn't want to ruin his video that everyone.
No, I know, but like if somebody said, "Why is Kumia bad?" I would give him one bad thing that everyone could agree on to get you in the mood.
All right. I think there's a lot of things that are covered in this video that I think could drive a news cycle. So I don't want to.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to create a clip here that then leaks too much, and then he starts to build a defense about it.
Give us like a basic introduction to hatred. I like to give, here's an introduction to your hatred. Let's get people on board. They'll get excited for this release. They'll want to hate more. Just give us a little bit. What about this guy can get us going? Because we're very easily, we want souls, man.
The pettier, the better.
Well, I think sort of an innocuous thing I could say that everyone would sort of assume, I think, and other people have noticed is just in general, YouTube has made a lot of like inappropriate content into children's content.
Yeah. That sickens me as well. That really sickens me as well. Erica Costell, I think, is getting away with murder. This was Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend. She does content. It's only 12 and under that are watching it, little girls. And every day it's we're getting Botox, we're getting ab surgery, we're getting lip fillers. It's the worst possible thing you could market towards little girls, and they're getting away with murder. So when they do the kids stuff, and that's how Logan got his big bag, the reason Jake is rich, the reason Logan's rich, even Big Mike, is because little kids don't know any better. You know, we used to have our networks. Mr. Rogers was cleared. They weren't going to just throw a big mic. And imagine you're 9 years old and the Disney Channel is just giving you big mic content. It would really set your kid into a tailspin. I mean, your kid would grow up crazy.
the kids are growing up.
When I was a kid, even like the edgier children's content still had an overall positive message.
Yeah.
It would be like teamwork is good.
Yeah.
Or like help people who are vulnerable.
Yeah,
like
or like
G.I. Joe, where it's like
don't
this is about military dudes who are shooting bad guys, and it's violent. It involves like tanks and guns and planes, and that's not something.
But even Ninja Turtles,
to.
I mean, every kid's cartoon in the 90s and before had a moral. It had a fable element where it would teach you the good way. You know, it was always good versus evil. You know, we just recently rewatched The Smurfs, which is a little off, but you'd watch The Smurfs.
I had to put on The Smurfs to cure Mike from his fainting spell.
Yeah, I fainted during Midsummer. I made we didn't tell people that. I made people put on The Smurfs to. I go, I can't watch any more Midsummer. I'm really sick to my stomach. Put on The Smurfs. Maybe it'll make me. And it didn't. The Smurfs.
I can't imagine a worse piece of content if you're having a bad trip, an anxiety attack, or you're feeling sick to watch Midsummer. What the fuck?
I mean, really,
so Smurfs, that's pretty wholesome.
Yeah, well, you would think so, but then you rewatch The Smurfs. It's pretty like Me Too. It's pretty
They're
fucking
like
old school 80s Smurfs.
It was Smurfs season 1, episode 1, which I don't even think we saw on air as kids. We probably started watching it at season 3. Yeah. The pilot episode of Smurfs is dark. They're cruel to each other. Really? It's disjointed. It's
even
psychedelic.
Ninja Turtles. Well, this is kind of a good point because like even Ninja Turtles, the original like Image comic or Dark Horse or whoever put it out, like it had the turtles were swearing. It had nudity. Yeah. It was a fucked up comic. But then, and Pee-wee's Playhouse was like, Pee-wee Herman was an adult stand-up comic, but in order to make it into children's content, it developed child-appropriate standards.
And think about how...
If you look at the moral of YouTube content, it's how can we get as rich as possible? Yes. How can we look like a porn star? How can we date a porn star? We should buy cars. It's all materialistic stuff. And like, I think that matters. If you're literally programming the brains of the next people.
You're programming them fully. And again, we would watch 6-hour blocks of these cartoons and they had good morals, good endings, good messages. And we grew up still this shitty. Imagine what you're going to be like with only Jake, Paul, and Erica guiding you to adulthood. It's terrifying.
It's honestly terrifying.
And this is what they're watching. There's no cartoons on TV, by the way. There's no anything else that they're watching. They're not watching anything good. It's all psychotic horseshit. And Lana Rhoades is the new Pee-wee Herman.
It's so bizarre because, like, honestly, like guys like you and I are not shocked by, we're not church ladies. We're not offended by nudity or swearing or fucked up shit. I think what's triggering us, what's pissing us off about this, I hate saying triggering. Yeah. I think what's getting us interested in this is we know, like, the line for something that we should be watching for an adult's entertainment is blurred now to where it's also like the same topics are now in children's content, and we realize that's fucked up. Like, people like us should not be the moral voice, and the times are so crazy that we are.
That's
so you're
saying
say. This Jay station, he targets kids, and you've got something about him that's gonna show the world what he's done.
Yeah, he knows who his audience is, and he's making content that he knows is inappropriate for them, but it's what kids are interested in. I mean, what did you want to watch when you were younger? I wanted to watch R-rated movies.
I would love to watch Jay Station when I was a kid. He's contacting the people I missed the most.
The thing about, like, I watched R-rated movies when I was younger, and I'm not going to even say that they screwed me up, but there's something important about knowing that it was naughty, knowing I wasn't allowed to watch that. If you're not even drawing a line anywhere,
but I would even say, the horror movies we watched had a better,
for the good guys.
Yeah, like I watched all the Jason movies and Sleepaway Camp. They ended with a better story than what Erica Costello is telling you. to do.
Sadly, that's probably
They really
true.
did, and they kept you on a straighter path. Listen, I really need to ask you this. Yesterday, we opened the Clubhouse app, and you were live with Tim K. Dillon.
The biggest star.
And you've been watching Redbar all this time. You know about Tim Dillon from us. You were in a room with him. Who else was he in the room with?
Keemstar.
That room only lasted about 1 minute. It was like a TikTok. So what happened was he created a room called Woke Hoes Who Are Trying to Fuck. And I joined the room to see what he was talking about. He pulled me up on stage.
Tim Dillon added you to the main stage of the Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Does he know who you are?
Well, he followed me on Clubhouse, I think, because he heard me talking about YouTube.
Do you think Tim Dillon? Do you think Tim Dillon?
I've been promoting him for a while, and he just doesn't seem to know that I am in his audience. I've retweeted him early on when he only had 15,000 followers. I was retweeting his videos, but he just hasn't noticed. I don't think he knows who I am yet.
Do you think
he followed me on Clubhouse? I think because he thinks I'm a YouTube expert.
Yeah, well, there you go. Do you think Tim Dillon? Do you think Tim Dillon is using YouTubers to get a leap here to showcase?
Yeah, of course he is.
Wow,
that's his whole shtick.
Wow.
He's I worship wealth and I want to be rich and famous, and so I'm going to basically network with only extremely wealthy, famous people. You and I aren't.
Do you hate him?
On the level of
do you hate him? Do you hate him because he's gay?
Clearly not. No.
There you go.
I love Tim Dillon. Now, and I think you're bullying him for one of the reasons that's probably bothering a lot of his fans. It's you're being a little bit too shallow. It's one thing to do it for a bit, but it's another thing to actually go on their podcasts and suck their dick. Yeah. Right? Fucking figuratively.
So you see, when Tim Dillon is ass kissing Big Mike on Impulsive, that's too far for people like us, right? This is I
don't
like that. I want to watch every appearance Tim Dillon does, so I'd rather it's on Bastard Radio with Nick Mullen and
Nick Mullen, my good friend Nick Mullen. People keep asking me. We're very close friends, me and Nick.
Practically.
Are you saying that sarcastically?
No, we're very close friends. You remind me of Nick Mullen.
Well, that's a compliment. I think Nick Mullen's phenomenal.
Yeah, me and him are very dear friends. We do a lunch every week. We never miss.
Shut up. Okay, so you are memeing.
He hates.
I've heard you say this about Keemstar.
He despises
you're just acquaintances with Keemstar.
I like Nick Mullen. You know why I like Nick Mullen? He stands by, and this is not saying much. He stands by some principles. He stands by a few, whereas these other guys stand by zero. They have no principle. They have no point of view that they hold to, no loyalty to a greater idea. And I feel like Nick Mullen kind of does. I don't know. I haven't listened to much.
With him in a group chat, I said, the way that you're using Twitter is really amusing. This you know how he used Twitter. He was saying purposefully offensive things because they were funny and because he knew he would be banned. He's doing the same thing on TikTok. He's criticizing China and then pretending he's getting kidnapped by Chinese people or whatever. He's using the app in a reckless, carefree way, and that's amusing. And so what I was trying to tell him is that's great, but also when someone writes an article compiling all of this, it's going to make it difficult for you to have a relationship with any sponsors. And he goes, I literally don't fucking care if that happens. Life isn't worth living and I want to die. Wow. So, that I think low dopamine is one of the reasons that he is the way he is. And I like his art better because of it. Wow. It's a shame if he's not fucking happy and he really doesn't care about anything. I mean,
he should try some dopamine.
I like him because he was ripped off by this guy, Jesse P.S.
Yeah. Oh, hell.
I want to ask you one more question. You are friends with Keemstar.
Is that the question?
At the beginning of this interview, we were we're only calling you
about
to talk
NFTs.
about NFTs.
Now I don't care about the NFTs at all. You were in the room with Keemstar and the iconic Keemstar, by the way. Do you think he says he loves Redbar all the time? He's saying, we just heard last week again, he said, I love Redbar. Is he actually watching Redbar or is he seeing just 2 clips? What do you think?
I think he's watching the clips. You have to understand that he's legitimately has OCD or whatever. Like he's very impatient. So I like the boiled down stuff that's put on YouTube, I think is more like his speed. I don't think that he has the patience to watch the 8 to 12 hour streams.
Who would you trust more babysitting your son, me or Keemstar?
Keemstar is a sociopath, and I'll tell him that to his face.
So, answer the question, please.
Did you say Keemstar or you?
Or me watching your son for a weekend?
That's kind of a toss-up.
Wow, really? Oh, is it really? Because I would
trust you over Keemstar.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know, because Keemstar, he would know he would get in trouble and would worry about that, whereas you wouldn't. So I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think Keemstar has any child predator vibes? No. Okay.
No.
Thank you for calling in.
Wait, don't you want to ask him one thing about the NFTs? Because we built this all up.
Because I don't. I'm going to tell you this. I don't think I want to cover NFTs yet. I think it's a negative conversation right now.
Can he at least tell me if Logan selling a video clip
I sent
of
you
his
some
box
links.
break is a scam?
Yeah. And you know what? I'll tell you this about NFTs. NFTs are these non-forgettable collectibles. And let me tell you something about them. People are buying them as if they're... And what's so funny to me with this NFT thing is the Babe Ruth rookie card. Just because you buy it for $48,000 doesn't mean it's worth $48,000. However, in the NFT world, they assume that if you buy something for $38,000, that's the value that it will hold, and it will never dip, and it will only go up. And Logan Paul is selling video clips for $38,000. To me, this reeks of money laundering. It reeks of, and you know what? I'll tell you this. When I looked into NFTs, I didn't get it. And then I saw Grimes, Elon Musk's fake girlfriend, psychopath Grimes, selling NFTs on her website. And they were
as a baby.
Oh, really? She did that?
Yeah, I think she took photos of herself as a baby.
Wow.
And that's what the 3D model is.
I didn't know about that. But I saw her selling art. And I said, okay, picture she drew. She's selling, and you receive the ownership of it when you buy this NFT. And it's like owning a painting. Okay? That makes sense, right? Everybody, you get a painting from a famous person. You pay $20,000 for it. It makes sense. And maybe it'll hold its value because it's from the famous person. So she's selling these digital pieces of artwork. And what I saw was the price tag, $20. She was selling these original pieces of artwork for $20. I go, oh, okay.
That's the right way to do it.
I go, that makes sense. I go, she's got fans. Certainly they would love ownership of this art that she actually created with her hands for $20. That's not so bad. And they own it, and maybe it goes up in value. And then I saw Logan Paul, and I'm going to pull this on the screen, selling video clips from his Pokemon card scheme that him and Gary Vee came up with. Hold on, let me show this. I gotta do that. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Look at this.
If I understand it correctly, the video clips are the delivery of the contract. So what he was selling was was opening the pack.
Yeah.
So the person who won the drawing connected to that, he's showing you what you got.
Oh, so these aren't separate from the pack?
It's like, all right, so this is complicated. You're creating like the contract. You're selling a contract with the NFT, and the contract could be whatever you want. It could be I'm selling you this song, and my contract with you is you now own the song.
Yeah.
Or you can say, this is just sort of like an interpretation of the song, and I'm selling 5 of it, and it's its own piece, and you just own like this collectible version of the song. It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's why like
So this is what I don't understand. Logan Paul could be like, I am selling an NFT of me sneezing from yesterday. It is a picture of me sneezing. and the price I'm setting is $11,000. And then when someone buys that, then the price is set at $11,000.
So yeah, that if he sets it at that price, then you have to hit that minimum. And what I think is happening right now is there's the people who are backing Ethereum and backing these marketplaces are glad to have a big name involved, and they know that if there's a high sales price, then it's going to create a news cycle where it's like, this painting just sold for $6 million, and it's basically like a animated GIF of a meme. They know that it's the same way that YouTube became popular, or that YouTube became legitimized as a career. It's the same thing that happened with Twitch.
Yeah.
They'll trot out someone.
So
like
these people
Ninja was the Twitch example. Like he was on the cover of magazines for having made $20 million streaming Fortnite. And before that, if you remember, it was like PewDiePie making, when it became public what he made from AdSense, that was what, the next generation of YouTubers were able to use to tell people, like, this is a real job. Look, someone made $10 million.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're taking advantage of the people that missed out on Bitcoin. And basically what they're saying to people is, hey, imagine if you would have bought up all the Bitcoin when it was only $1 per coin. Think about how rich you would be.
Like, everyone is looking for the next like altcoin or investment, and there's a lot of speculating going on. We're at the irrational optimism phase of a hysteria.
Well, look at this. Break moment 05, second Zard. Logan Paul sold. This is not for sale. It is sold. Somebody paid $20,000 for this video clip.
Wow. Another holographic on the second box break.
A Charizard! No. Oh my gosh! It's a 30-second video clip of him.
Now, don't they get the card though?
I don't. Maybe. Oh, they get the card
but he
too.
He doesn't even say that, does he? Because I was like,
I don't know. I think this is separate.
Logan's muddying the waters on NFTs in a way that, like, do you remember Bitcoin? There was like this artist essentially who was selling a physical coin that would hold your it would hold the hash. So forever afterwards, people were like, where do I get this coin? Like, where do I buy the physical coin? And like, even people in airports were looking to confiscate these physical coins. And that's not what a Bitcoin is, so it confused people. Logan is attaching his art. I thought it was fan art, but apparently Logan's painting this garbage himself.
Yeah, listen to this. And this is all you need to know.
NFTs connected to this contest. And the contest is a bit of a scam. Like, you're winning for $2,000, you're getting a 1 in 2,000 chance to get a $20,000 box.
Yes.
So that's a very bad lottery ticket.
It's like David Dobrik's lottery. And look at this. Here's what you need to know. This is what you need to know. Logan Paul, in the last week, made $5 million selling digital NFTs.
Yeah.
Selling digital files, non-tangible nothings to people that are just believing in this, hoping not to miss out on the next Bitcoin, hoping these things will grow in value. Is there any way, is he reporting this to the IRS? Is this
probably
all not taxable? Are they getting, if I were the government, I'd say no Bitcoin, no NFTs, no dealings with children. If you're a child, you can't deal with over $1,000. Stop with this. This is all a recipe for disaster. Why are these kids are allowed to trade Bitcoin up to $50,000 with their friends with no government interaction?
NFTs are something that will survive the bubble. The prices are probably going to be all over the place for a while.
Yeah. You think these cards Logan sells, you think in 10 years someone could get $38,000 back for what they purchased? No way.
No way. And that's
so Logan Paul is selling. Logan Paul is selling gifts. He's selling gifts for $38,000.
I don't think that's going to hold its value. But what I do think, whatever the price ends up landing on for like a good artist, I'm just glad that this technology is coming into play, because like if you were someone like Sven, who's a
Sven Stuffles, he knows Sven.
Yeah,
Sorry.
If you're Sven and you're a talented animator, Well, animation is a way onto YouTube. He's got an on-ramp there where if he started making animation, that now does well. But if you were only like a comic book artist, or you were making digital art, but you couldn't think of how to apply it to YouTube, or no one was really watching you stream as you drew, then you're on the sidelines essentially making art for people like you and me.
Yeah.
You know, like I was able to hire him because he
hired Sven Stoffels?
Yeah.
And you're not worried that you're going to be canceled and destroyed? And
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? You are worried. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I want to say this. I don't know if you heard my little thing. I think I came up with something quite poetic. There's simplicity, or there's honesty within simplicity. And I believe that once you go past this simplistic way of making money, regardless of what you're selling, it creates a dishonesty. There's something schemy about getting too technical with the ways you bring in the moolah. I like the idea with... I
understand what he's saying. Like, it makes perfect sense for someone like Sven, who is actually providing something that somebody might want to collect.
Well, Sven ain't selling no NFTs or he's fucking dead.
I'm going to try to convince him to do it, because I think that, there's so many talented artists who are working on commission. And when you're working on commission, it's half your own artistic inspiration and half you're following the guidelines that someone set for you. Like, I need you to make this painting of my Dungeons and Dragons character. And that's not what Sven wants to spend tomorrow doing.
No.
He wouldn't give a fuck about your Dungeons and Dragons character. So I would rather Sven makes exactly what he wants to make tomorrow, and then people can support that in some way.
Yeah, but I always
feel...
feel...
You could collect his work. Like, if he made, like, a print or he was selling a T-shirt or something, you could buy that.
But I could do that too.
The authenticity was never sort of like organized in any sort of digital marketplace or any sort of authentic way. And this just adds like a framework to that.
Well, here's what I think.
Supporting people.
I think you should never charge somebody more than what it's actually worth. Meaning, here, let me tell you a story. We had in the old studio these vinyl backdrops with this old logo. The backdrop is like red and blue. It had a big mic face. People offered me $5,000 for the vinyl banner that hung up that I, paid $100 for.
Mm-hmm.
I said no. I'd rather throw it out than charge you for a collectible. There's no such thing. I don't care if it gives me a lot of money and gives somebody any joy. They're being ripped off. At the end of the day, these collectors are just being manipulated by people that they're so in love with. They shouldn't be giving me, if somebody go, oh, Mike, please, I know you're not selling the boarding school story right now. I'll give you $100 for it. I say, no, it's not for sale. And why can't people
split off what happens in the aftermarket where private parties are selling it to each other from what the artist is charging when they do the initial drop? Because those are two different things. Like, you can't fault someone on the collectible phase.
No.
But if they're charging only $1 for it, and anyone who's paying attention for 10 minutes when they drop it can buy it, fair enough, fair play. And I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I'll tell you where I came around.
We're getting confused by the Logan thing, where he's obviously just using this confusing language about NFTs to all of his kid followers who are just learning about it too. And he's only talking about the investments and how, this is going to raise in value, and tricking people into thinking that them buying into his NFTs, whatever they are going to make him money.
Now, here's the
this is part of why I'm trying to get involved right now. Like, as soon as this video is done, I'm going to work on something about NFTs, because I do want to explain this to people. Because so much money is there to be made by this, it's attracting the worst grifters in our community.
Yes.
And what happens in the early stage of a disruptive technology is whoever's disrupted by it will be incentivized to ruin it right away.
Yeah.
So, you see like mainstream media trying to destroy YouTube and say that, like, pointing out every time YouTube fucks up, because mainstream media, they're competing for the same advertising dollars. You can't trust what they say about it. And so, like, the worst misdeeds of a disruptive technology will define it for a long time. We saw with Bitcoin, because it was being used on the Silk Road, for the longest time, everybody said, well, isn't that the way that you buy drugs? They still can't shake that stigma. And TikTok
I can't either, to be honest.
Had some issues with older people following young people. And so a lot of parents will only ever know of TikTok as this is the pedophile app.
Yes.
So what I'm worried about will happen right now is that a bunch of grifters will get involved in NFT. People are going to get ruined by it. Artists will be exploited. People will sell dicks that are made in Microsoft Paint. A friend of mine did that. He did that. Justin Wang did it.
Oh, Justin Wang.
I'm afraid that it's going to be made a joke out of. Something shitty's going to happen. And then Motherboard will write an article. I know somebody who suggested that Shadbase get involved in NFTs because people would be able to support him that way and it would be hard to cancel him. And I was like, that's the worst idea I've ever heard, because I can already tell what the headline will be. It'll be it'll be unmasking Ethereum's pedophile millionaire.
Yes.
And it'll involve doxing Shadbase. It'll sully NFTs as the platform, the method for trading pedophilic content. And that's something that some people will learn about. All of these concepts, it'll be their first introduction. It'll be a very spicy viral article, and it'll be very difficult for NFT to shake that.
Yeah.
So
and here's my final thought on this. I want anybody who has any Bitcoin or any NFTs to immediately be audited and jailed until we have further results. You know what I mean? I want to close the borders to this.
I've already gotten a threatening letter from the IRS saying hey, just want to make sure that you're declaring your cryptocurrency income.
Good. And I really want them to be watching this. I I think Logan needs to be audited immediately. Logan Paul and Big Mike I worked at a company that sold glow sticks when I was a kid in the graphic design department. And I remember this lawyer-looking guy coming in. I go, what's that? And they go, oh, he's auditing the company. And he's going to be here for the next week going over all. And I go, why? What's wrong with this company? And Logan Paul hasn't been audited yet. Big Mike. I mean, these guys are bringing in millions a week now.
They're
going to have to fly to Puerto Rico to audit him, though, right? Isn't that the idea?
I want to say one last thing on NFTs, because I had a whole different story yesterday. I smoked this green crack weed. I got really high, and I was enlightened because I was watching George Janko's vlog. And in George Janko's vlog, he did a really low-rent, despicable commercial for, what was it for? It was some advertiser that he had, and he did a whole commercial where he acted it out, and he had a script. And I said, as a joke, I want to buy an NFT of this commercial and own this moment for the rest of my... And then I said, oh my God, wait a minute. If I actually was a fan... Now I get it. I want ownership of that. It would be like if on Anthony Cumia when he got in that fight with Ron Bennington and that other crazy racist guy, and he goes, guess I forgot to laugh. If I owned the moment of that guy going, guess I forgot to laugh, I'd be like the king. And then I'd have this collection of, oh, please come into my home and see my moments. I have the worst moments from internet. Look at this. And then I start envisioning ownership museums of NFT moment ownership. And I'm seeing this new futuristic society where it goes, oh, how many moments do you own? Oh, come to my house and check out my moments. And I'm watching people go through their digital museums of these moments from, oh, here's when Trump said, just Rosie. Or, all these epic fucking moments. And I would like ownership. And then I said, wait a minute. But I'd want them as a joke, not for $38,000. So I'm still on the right path. Logan Paul is a con man. NFTs are bad. Clubhouse is bad. I want you staying away from Tim Dillon, Nerd City. Stay away.
You're partially correct. There's a lot of fucking grift going on with NFTs, but overall it's a good thing. And your very good friend Sven should make NFTs, and he'll finally be rewarded directly by his followers for his art. So if you have an overall philosophy that no one should be collecting anything, and nothing has any value.
That's my philosophy.
I think there's something to that point of view. There's some minimalism, and I kind of wish I could be there. But I do have a bit of that mental illness that makes me want to accumulate and collect things that I like.
You know what it is? Here's what it is. Here's my problem. I wouldn't mind collecting things if they were of somebody worth collecting of. What I see right now, every fucking person on YouTube, yes, fine. Every person on YouTube, every person on Twitter, they're terrible. You don't want ownership of this shit that they're selling.
So if I make NFTs, I'm going to try to make something that I'm proud of and that's really good and that I can keep updating. And I want to show people how I think that can be done before it gets made a joke out of, you know?
Well, I'm 100% against it. You could follow Nerd City on YouTube. Wait till you see his videos. Nerd City on YouTube. Check out his Jake Paul stuff. Skip through the ads, of course. Put on ad block. Do whatever you got to do. He didn't know any better back then. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for being on. You're the first person with all these followers to come on Redbar ever. And it shows that you're not afraid. You're not afraid of this mob.
Well, I have a wider view of things where, like, I think that you can consume someone's content a la carte. If they say something, if you and I don't agree on NFTs, and I'm not unfollowing you over that.
It's amazing. So, like, he doesn't agree with me about Mr. Beast, and he allows me. It's so nice. He allows me to make such terrible statements about even good friends of him, and he asks me, why do I think that? He doesn't go, oh, fuck you. He asks me, why do you think that way? And then I tell him, and he goes, oh, okay. And then he makes his own mind up. It would be amazing if everyone could be like Nerd City. Thank you for being on.
Thank you so much.
I agree.
All right, take care, Nerd City, everybody.
See you, man. Talk to you later.
Bye. That was a nice interview here.
What a sweet guy.
And, people are yelling at me here. I look at the chat. They go, boring. This isn't what Red Bar's about.
No.
Fuck this. Listen, hey, that's why I don't interview anybody. But I wanted to know about that stuff. I think it's very nice. And trust me, he's fucking dead eventually. All right. Did you like that? Do you want it to be an interview show now? Is this what you want? I'll never do that again.
I thought it was great. I was fully entertained.
Oh, good. He's a good, and then people go, Mike's a good interview. It doesn't take much to ask somebody some questions you're interested in. If somebody can't do that, what worth are they in front of a camera at all? Let's go into something terrible. I don't like hearing these voices of reason here. I like, let's kill them. I'm embarrassed.
Well, that's why you always say that you can't go on other people's shows. Is it's hard to be.
I would never go on another person's show ever because, this is how you want to see me. You want to see me be violent. You want to see me do this.
Look, everyone is saying, nah, that rule.
Oh, okay.
That was cool.
Okay.
It wasn't boring, Mike. It was good. Fantastic.
I saw a couple of comments. I get, really, I don't want to ever mess up your life here. And, we're terrified of people.
Love Nerd City. Fantastic.
Oh, okay,
it was
good.
Informative. Good.
And hopefully it didn't eat up to, I feel like these 8-hour shows, you can't complain really about a 30-minute thing. It's just tune out for a sec. Pretend it's a break if you hate it so much. The stress of fame, huh?